Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 6, Lesson 41, and today we're building one of the most useful habits in all of grammar, subject-verb agreement. It sounds formal, but the idea underneath is simple. A subject and its verb have to match in number. Get this right and your sentences click quietly into place. Let's dig in. Let's start with the whole idea in one line. A subject and its verb must agree in number. That's the rule. If the subject is singular, naming just one, then the verb must be singular too. If the subject is plural, naming more than one, the verb has to be plural. They have to match, one to one or many to many, every single time. Everything else in this lesson is just that one rule in different clothes. Most of the action happens in the present tense, so let's zoom in there. Here's the rule that trips people up. When the subject is third person singular, he, she, or it, the verb quietly adds an S. When the subject is plural, it does not. Watch the pairs. He skates, but they skate. She wins, but they win. Do you hear that lone S? It's a small signal that just one doer stands behind the action. Now, here's a twist worth pausing on. The S at the end of a noun and the S at the end of a verb pull in opposite directions. Add S to a noun and you make it plural. One cat becomes two cats. But add S to a present tense verb and you make it singular. The cat purrs is one cat, while the cat's purr is many. So the S literally swaps sides. On a noun, it means more, and on a verb, it means one. Keep that image in your head, and half the mistakes disappear. 3 verbs change shape more than any others: be, have, and do. Let's take them one at a time, starting with be. In the present, be becomes am, is, or are. Line up the singular side and the plural side. She is climbing, but they are climbing. The same verb wearing 2 different forms. Filling it out, you get I am and he is for one, and we are and you are for more. And be keeps splitting even in the past. Was for one, were for many. Have and do play by the same rule. Have becomes has for a single subject, and have for a plural one. He has reached the summit, but they have reached it together. Do splits into does and do. Does she climb, but do they climb? And notice the pattern one last time. The S rides along with the singular every time. It's has and does for one subject, but have and do for many. Let's fold everything into a quick check you can run on any sentence. Step 1. Look at the subject. Is it one or more than one? Step 2. Match the verb to it. A singular subject takes the singular verb, and a plural subject takes the plural one. And whenever that verb happens to be, have, or do, just pick the form that fits. Is or are, has or have, does or do. Answer those 2 questions and agreement takes care of itself. Ready to practice together? In this first set, I'll give you a subject and 2 verbs. Pick the one that agrees with the subject in number. Pause the video and try each on your own before I reveal the answer. The falcon blank over the ridge. Dives or dive? Falcon names just one bird, a singular subject. In the present tense, a singular subject takes the S form of the verb. So the answer is dives. 2 rivers blank into the bay. Flows or flow? Rivers is plural, more than one, so the verb loses its S. A plural subject takes the bare form. The answer is flow. My neighbor blank tomatoes each summer. Grow or grows? One neighbor is a singular third-person subject, exactly like he or she, so the verb takes the S. The answer is grows. Now each sentence uses be, have, or do. Choose the form that agrees with the subject. Pause and decide before I answer. The dancers blink warming up. Is or are? Dancers is plural, more than one, so the verb be takes its plural form. The answer is are. She blank finished the mural. Have or has? She is a single third-person subject, so have shifts to has. The answer is has. Blank the twins want lemonade. Does or do? The twins is plural, more than one, so do keeps its plural form. The answer is do. Let's gather up what we've built. A subject and its verb must agree in number, singular with singular, plural with plural. In the present tense, that agreement shows up as a little s. A third-person singular subject adds s or es to the verb, while a plural subject leaves it off. And three busy verbs change shape entirely. Be turns into is or are, have into has or have, and do into does or do. So you simply pick the form that fits the subject. Master those and your sentences hold together cleanly. In the next lesson, we'll tackle the tricky cases, subjects split apart by phrases, and slippery words like everyone and nobody. I'll see you there.